For my Issues in Sport presentation, I decided to focus on athlete role models. The main question, should athletes be role models for children? I will be going over an introduction of this issue, some background information, the social importance of this issue, the issue portrayed in the media, examples of it in the media, as well as future implications. Athletes have always been seen as role models in society because of the values sports participation represents. Are seen as a physically and mentally healthy stress outlet where participants are encouraged to express and improve physical fitness, set goals and work towards achieving them, as well as the additional benefit of forming social relationships. However, the other side is that having sporting ability doesn't automatically make the person a good role model for children to be looking up to and making decisions based on what they do. Athletes are role models whether they take on responsibilities or not, which means they could be good or bad depending on how they live their lives and their values. The children that believe their athlete can do no wrong and mirror their personality up to the athlete are most vulnerable. Athlete role models help children see benefits of sports participation like exercise, teamwork, healthy competition, and working at goals. Athletes can also teach valuable life lessons such as high levels of discipline, perseverance, never giving up on your goals, and transparency with struggles of mental health. When there is respect for teammates and opponents, fair play, and sportsmanship, with positive attitudes towards sport and competition, these athletes can be an inspiration. Athletes from different social, racial, and cultural backgrounds can encourage young athletes to succeed in many different places. In the years since the 1970s, money has become very intertwined with sport, creating more globalized athletes. Athletes are now adored across the globe, largely due to the rise in mass social media. A new sort of sports world has been created with increased visibility and economic factors. There needs to be questions about what the athletes of today are teaching children. There have been even more spotlights on some of the issues associated with sports athletes as role models for children. Spoiled athlete mentalities teach children that it's okay to yell and fight to get what they want. Athletes that use supplements and steroids send messages to kids that they can use these things to cheat as long as you can win. In addition, athlete lifestyles can be fulfilling and happy or scandalous and inappropriate. Athletes are regular people despite successes and accomplishments. However, when they make mistakes, they are magnified by the press. If the bad things about every athlete are being magnified, this sends bad examples to aspiring athletes and young children. Professional athletes don't always consider themselves to be role models. Many are solely focused on winning and success, and don't always care about their image or how they look to others. Kids need to have role models they can interact with and have meaningful relationships. Problems occur when children have faith in athletes to be role models outside of the stadium. Athletes' lives and decisions will affect a child's morals, what they feel they can do, how they act towards other people and their teammates. Athletes affect behavior in and out of sport. When athletes set good examples, the benefits are far reaching. But when athletes are bad, they can change everything. When athletes are portrayed in a negative way doing illegal things, all of their mistakes are blown up. However, other times when they do good things and act in a way that is worthy of being looked up to, nobody sees it. A big issue is knowing who to look at and who to trust. Is this athlete genuinely being good? Is their mistake really that bad or was it blown out of proportion? Media shapes the story to sound how they want it to, and everything is structured in a way to impact how we perceive things. Bad news will spread quicker and be more popular. This also means that this is what children may be seeing: the scandals, bad behavior, cases of abuse, and crimes. There is a ton of contrast in the media. Athletes involved in domestic abuse cases, drugs, and partying versus those athletes that start charities for causes they are passionate about. But the issue is teaching young children who is good to look up to and who should be ignored, because that ultimately is the deciding factor for the influence the athlete is going to have on the kid. There are always going to be those that don't care about their image versus those that treasure it and want to be viewed in a good way by the public. Little children have not fully formed opinions of what's right and wrong, so they don't necessarily know how to filter out what they see. Sports streaming always focuses on the physicality, drama, and fighting. They always show the athletes that are rude to refs, close-up of lips when they are swearing at other people, and constant replays of fights and hits. There are many positive examples of athletes teaching young kids valuable lessons. Former heavyweight boxing champion Lennox Lewis made a public service announcement: "Real men don't hit women." This is a real message that can impact children in a positive way and teach young boys about respect for women. However, one of the most famous examples relating to the argument that athletes aren't role models is the 1993 Nike commercial. Charles Barkley states, "I am not a role model." He makes a fair argument that just because he makes baskets doesn't mean he should be a role model for kids. There are other examples in the media: NFL player knocking his fiancée unconscious in the elevator, abusing and neglecting children, and smashing their partner's face against the wall. There are always positive stories. However, the amount of negative stories has been significantly increased, and this is what today's children are being influenced by. Every athlete has the potential to be influential as a positive or negative role model, and their own past experiences and values that need to be taken into consideration. There are so many athletes around the world that approach life with different attitudes and have different life values. Our world is becoming more and more morally corrupt, that depending on what children are looking up to, their lives can be changed forever. Parents and families need to take a more active role in the athlete role models their children are looking up to, ensuring that they are showing the attitudes and decisions that are appropriate for a child to look at. Perhaps we should leave on this final thought. Maybe children shouldn't have faith in athletes to be role models outside of the stadium.